Hello, everyone, and welcome.
Go back, here's your file. And here you go.
The footage we have playing in the background today is a run of the Crypts with fresh characters in the below level 14 bracket. A buddy of mine here, Zero, is just getting into the game, and he's got a level 13 warrior, so I have a low level priest, and my buddy Kovac has a low level ranger. And we're running the Crypts au natural, starter gear, maybe a couple greens here and there that we've been able to collect up in our
South
respective
or
runs.
Archer.
But today I really want to pose a question that we've discussed quite a bit in the last 24 hours since Iron Mace made a change on September 14th to kind of embargo newer characters, level 14 and below, into their own matchmaking. And that question really boils down to this. Does the trading post make the game less fun? I think it's an important question. The changes that they made yesterday with regard to limiting the trading posts to characters level 15 and above, and for putting characters of level 14 and below in their own matchmaking bracket, I think are overwhelmingly positive for a few reasons. Firstly, the new player experience is substantially better. Whether it's the Goblin Caves, the Ruins, or the Crypts, new players can come in and learn the mechanics without fear of getting rolled by a sweaty, juicy group rolling through at a pace that is mind-boggling and just, leveling them without any opportunity to really engage in a fight whatsoever. So it's better from a new player perspective. Secondly, this is allowing you to kind of progress your character up the equipment and gear progression without, fear that you're being leveraged by a team who has access to any gear of any stats, the only variable being cost.
Okay. Looks like we need to head.
So it really comes down to, and we discuss it quite a bit in the background here,
Let Kovac lead. He knows where he's going.
why does this feel like a pure, more engaging form of the game than the level 15 plus? And it was my buddy Kovac who first, posed this question and asked, is the trading post making the game better, or is it making it worse?
Already farted?
And at first I was, immediately reject the premise. I said, no, the trading post is fundamental to what Dark and Darker is. This is how we get our gear. We assemble our gear. We, build the kit, complete the build that we want to go for, and then we go in and we run it. But then, the more I thought about it, the more I'm coming around to his side of the argument. The days in the week after a wipe are substantially more fun. They're more fair. And the game just feels purer. We're taking a fight right now, 3v3. Similar gear levels. The outcome of this fight is determined on tactics, positioning, and skill. Not through who was able to spend more money trading for an optimal build. We played it really well. The enemy team, unfortunately, was stuck in a kind of a box canyon scenario where they had no escape. But the outcome of that fight felt very fair.
Do you drop that fire, Kovac?
And the outcome of many fights in High Roller and in the 15 plus now bracket
Maybe my mute button was on.
Yeah, drop it right here in front of you. It's going down.
Thank you.
really comes down to, who assembled the best gear with the available gold that they had. And I'm uncertain to what degree economic warfare should be
The only thing I used was I sprinted it at him when
a part of the Dark and Darker experience.
So you couldn't really outdistance me. The only concern is that you outdistance my ability to heal, right?
Yep.
I don't know. Iron Mace will have the data, I'm sure, assembled on their side. which will allow us all to look at what percentage of players after the change on September 14th chose to delete a character or create a new character to make room for, this play style, which they, created. I think that their reasoning behind these changes are probably very different. I know that they're engaged in anti-cheat, they're engaged in combating the real money traders, and that is one of the driving forces behind these changes. I think probably secondarily a concern is the new player experience and allowing people to have, the game already has a very steep learning curve, but just softening the extreme slope of that curve is probably a secondary concern. But I think they've accidentally uncovered something which needs closer examination by the community, which is really the impact of the trade channels and whether it makes the game better or worse. I think that if we, I'll just tell you our experience playing multiple games like this last night, is that we had no wait, queues were popping immediately, and the game felt fresher and more fun than it has, really since the wipe. And I'm interested in exploring that, conversation with the community. I hope the community and Iron Mace are taking a look at those numbers and, can decipher whether or not we're seeing a trend. But they essentially, I think, yesterday created a new way to play the game, and I think it's one that's going to be very appealing to a very large number of players. Essentially, leveling to 15, deleting your character, recreating that character, and going through the experience again, I think has just become an extremely popular option and play style, which we'll see a lot of people engage with. I don't know. I'm interested in everybody's point of view. The fundamental question here is trading and the economic aspect of Dark and Darker making the game better, or does it make it worse? So I'm interested in your point of view. Please comment below. And if this conversation is interesting to you, please like and subscribe, and it helps me a ton. Good luck in your runs to come. What plays out here is the rest of the full run that we have. It was a lot of fun. I'll tell you, we played like this all night, and it felt fresh and invigorating and exciting, but mostly it felt fair. All of the victories felt hard-earned, and all of the defeats seemed well-earned by our opponents. So, without further ado, I hope you have great luck in your runs to come.
No!
Grab his heart eating algorithm real quick. I don't think I can actually.
Fine. You guys can grab my loot, that'd be cool though. Can't, no big deal.
Your best thing was the sword, I'm guessing?
I have it.